Continuing on, do we have any family members that were involved in any historic events?
So we have a few. One of the earliest was in 1940 when my great-grandfather Ben was given a sculpture to bring to the United States from an artist in Italy. And the sculpture was of Henry Ford, and he personally delivered it to Ford headquarters for Henry Ford. And Henry Ford wrote a letter back to him thanking him for delivering the sculpture, and we have pictures of that.
Oh, wow. That'd be really interesting if it was still there.
It is. It's actually, I believe, at Greenfield Village. One of the cousins asked the question, and that's where they think it ended up.
Oh.
Other historic events, so my grandfather, Leon, was a PT boater in World War II. And he would tell stories about when he was in the war, and one of his great stories was that they had pulled into this harbor, not docked, but in, closer to land at night, and everything was blackout conditions. And when they got up in the morning and they went up on deck, they found that they were actually right alongside a Japanese battleship. So,
Talk about hard sinking condition.
Yeah, exactly. He had some interesting stories. And then your Uncle Rod, who's my mom's brother, served on a aircraft carrier in the Vietnam War. And it was kind of funny because he had severe seasickness the entire time he served. But he brought back some cool stuff. He brought back a Japanese doll and an obi, one of the Japanese robes for me from Japan, and he brought back a guitar from Spain. And but he doesn't talk so much about his experiences there because
not good.
It was not his choice to go.
Okay. Understandable.
So yeah, it's not a fond memory for him.
Okay. Are there any family members that are still in contact with each other besides the cousins?
All of the generations that came to the U.S. from the 5 initial siblings and their cousins all keep in contact. So there's family in Canada, there's family in the U.S., different parts of the U.S., but here, just in Michigan, there's a lot of family. Aunt Delma, which was the last of my grandmother's generation, died over the holidays. But all of the next generation, my mom's generation, are here, and we all kind of grew up together.
So it's close-knit.
Very close-knit, my mom being the oldest of her generation, me being the oldest of my generation, and you being the oldest of your generation. Were kind of the glue that keeps the perpetuating pieces of the family together. So my Nona would have big family dinners at her house. There would be 50, 60, 70 people.
Nice.
Now they're done at halls because there's too many for a house.
Yeah.
And it's hundreds. That's my mom's side of the family. My dad's side of the family is just the opposite. They're scattered. There's Uncle Louie's family in Minneapolis, and then there's Phyllis's family in Florida. There's Rose's family in New York. But I haven't seen them since my grandparents were alive, and they had family reunions here in Detroit. So it's been a very long time since we've seen people from that side of the family from anywhere else.
Okay. Now, how often do you have these family reunions or get-togethers?
Twice a year on mom's side. They do a picnic in the summer, which I haven't been to in a long time. And then they always have the Christmas get-together, which is always actually done just down the road at the rec center. So most of the family's still downriver. With the last family breakfast after Andelma's funeral was about 75 people.
Wow, that's great. Now, how many generations are still alive in the family?
So the oldest generation that's still alive in the immediate family is my mom's, but my Aunt Delma's cousins and would be my grandmother's cousins in Canada are still alive. They're not doing well. They're elderly. They're in their 80s. But here we have all of my mom's generation, all my generation, all of your generation. And one of the cousins' children that's in your generation actually has a baby. So they're going to claim the oldest of the generation below yours.
Just like I claim the oldest of mine.
Yes.
Great. Now, is there any significant family-related events that will happen in the future?
Only one. And when I say significant, I mean something that's of note that's not something related to the family immediately, because we as a family are always doing new things together. But when my grandparents were alive, we would spend all of our summers up at my uncle's farm in the Upper Peninsula on Bruce's Crossing. We were there in 1976 for the bicentennial, and in Bruce's Crossing, they actually buried a time capsule. And the time capsule gets opened in 2076. And my dad's father, Joseph, put a letter in the time capsule for any future generation that's alive that knows about it to claim when they open that time capsule in 2076.
So, if I'm lucky, that might be me.
That might be you, more likely than not your children. You never know what the future brings, but...
That's definitely true.
The reality is, I'm not going to be there.
In spirit.
You may be there. More likely, it would be your children, because you are the only person in your generation of that bloodline. Because my dad didn't have any siblings. None of his children have children outside of me. So you are the sole survivor of that bloodline.
Until I pass it down into my kid.
Right.
Wow. That's good to know.
Yep.
Something to cherish. But I think that's all that we have for now, and we'll conclude with that. Thank you.